Welcome to the Salt Circle Podcast. My name is Hank. With me, as always, is Ben.
Hey.
Hey.
That hey sums up much more how I feel right now. I had my drink to work on my paper, but I also have eaten way too much pizza today. And then had more pizza, so
I had ravioli.
Oh, that sounds so much better than pizza. It's like day-old pizza, too.
Oh, man.
So, I don't know. We're just
fun times.
It's good, but it was too long. There was a deal. I got 2 pizzas, and I really should just have one.
I see.
You know how it goes.
I understand.
Yeah.
So we're here to talk about movies.
Yeah? Are we talking about certain kinds of movies?
Yeah, movies in which the majority of the action takes place on a building of some kind that is under siege.
Whoa.
And in this case, all 3 of the movies we're talking about today are apartment complexes. Mm-hmm. In a fun twist. So it's a little connected to our Die Hard episode, but Die Hard takes place in an office building. These are all apartment buildings.
Massive difference. So, totally different films.
Utterly different.
So we got Attack on the Block. Attack the Block.
Yes.
Dredd. And The Raid.
The Raid Redemption. Also known as The Raid.
Yeah. That tripped me up for a bit because I wasn't sure if it was like, I'd never heard of this film before, and I was looking and I'm like, because we have it as The Raid in our notes. And I was like, I can only find The Raid Redemption. Where's the first one?
No. The first one is The Raid Redemption. The sequel is The Raid 2.
Great.
There's no subtitle on the sequel. I think the redemption thing was only for like the West. I think that happened on because there's definitely this poster I'm looking at definitely just says The Raid. The redemption got added in.
Weird.
You know how it goes, where they add in. Sometimes titles change. Last minute. But yeah, so 2 of these movies, our heroes. Our hero is a cop going into the apartment building that is owned by some sort of crime lord. That is true for The Raid and Dredd. And then Attack the Block is a sort of different flavor, where our heroes are people who live in this apartment building, and the invading force is alien dog monster things.
Yeah. Well, I'd say more like gorillas, but sure.
Yeah, alien gorillas.
Yeah.
Also, horny alien gorillas.
That's important. That's important.
Look, they're all black, and then they have glow-in-the-dark teeth. They're pretty dope.
So, do you have... I mean, we can talk... Obviously, we'll talk about each film. Do you have, like, a loose... if you're going to rank these 3 films against each other, do you have, like, a 1, 2, 3? Are they tied?
It's really, really hard for me. They're pretty on par for me. It depends what mood I'm in at the time, I would say. Okay. I like all these movies a lot.
Okay.
These are some of my favorite films, all 3 of them.
I mean...
You have a hierarchy?
It goes Dredd, and then it goes Attack the Block, and then it skips like 99 ranks, and then it's The Raid.
Wow.
It highly subjective though. Like objectively, it's a good film, but it's one of those things where I would, if I was talking to someone and they like expressed interest in that genre or something, or we're talking, I'd be like, "Yo, you should check out this movie, The Raid. I feel like this would be something you like. But me personally, I don't feel the need to really go through it again. Yeah, I think it's just because it felt like a lot less plot and a lot more kicking.
Yeah, that's part of what I like about it.
Yeah, no, and I'm like,
I like
this is definitely what it's
like
doing.
its simplicity.
Yeah, no, it's doing, and it does it well. I'm not arguing that at all. I don't think it was a bad film. I'm just like, in the beginning ish, when he's like executing those people and he runs out of bullets and he like opens the drawer and there's more bullets there with a hammer. I'm like, just take the bullets. Just take a couple bullets. And he picks up the hammer. I'm like, man, it's gonna be one of those films.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
I very quickly finished my cereal. Fucking ruined that early on.
It's not like Dredd is cereal friendly either.
It's not, and in fact, I would say it is decidedly less cereal friendly. But
Yeah.
Die Hard's pretty cereal friendly until you pointed out his tank top.
Also, his feet.
I mean, that's pretty late in though. If you're doubling, like, are you having an intermission to go grab a fucking round 2 of cereal?
That scene with the guy stealing the candy bars, though, very cereal friendly. It's like, yeah, I just want a snack right now for some reason. What could it be? But yeah, definitely The Raid has the least plot of any of these movies. It's much more about the physical hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like, I don't know, it was basically a kung fu movie. But, you know, not, I guess. No, it was...
It's got Yayan Ruhian from Yakuza Apocalypse in it.
I don't know which one that is. I didn't recognize him.
He was the guy who was punching our boy in the face over and over again. In Yakuza Apocalypse.
Okay.
And he was the dude who's like, I'll take both of you on. And that kind of the final big fight.
Yeah. Okay.
And he's also, I think, the stunt director for this movie.
Nice. Oh man, I forget which part of the film it was in. Definitely like middle or later. I don't know. It had some really good like sound cues. I liked what they were doing with music, or I guess not entirely lack thereof, but there were some points where it was real subtle. But I'm like, this is a very good lead-in. Then like shit starts happening, and it like. It's very driven. Like, the action is very driven. But
another thing I'll say about up front that I liked about it is it's not... You don't know who the main character is at first. It's really not super clear the first time I watched it, for me at least. He kind of reveals himself to be awesome as the movie goes on, and I like characters like that.
Yeah.
They kind of put in ridiculous situations and like prove that they're awesome by working their way through it.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, he beats up so many people. It's so good.
Yeah, a lot of people
smashes that dude into the tiles.
Yeah. No, it was a pretty good like, I guess, arc. I was trying to think of a better word, but I guess arc, sort of like that. Well, I mean, there's also kind of a thinning of the herd anyway for someone. When everybody's dying.
Everybody's dying.
So
shit goes bad real fast.
I was a little... At the end, I didn't quite catch it or get it. Like, they're walking out, like the bad guy and the cops are walking out, right?
His brother? Yeah.
Yeah. Do they, like, is it resolved? I guess. Okay, better question. Does the Raid 2 like tie any of this together, or like do they just go their separate ways and like stuff kind of people got their old guy got
The
his
Raid
kind
2
of his goal and
kind
then
of
they go
goes
back.
goes in a different direction,
Okay,
but it
so
is
it's
still
not
about the same main character.
okay.
But things go bad, I'll say. And it ends up it's much more of like a crime thriller with it's way more expansive, and it's like the opposite kind of movie where it's just wild and like there's a lot of plot. It's not
Okay.
nearly as like contained a thing, and there are also a lot of great fights. And it gets a little more even more cartoonish kind of in terms of like characters have gimmicks. More characters have gimmicks.
Fuck yeah.
There's this lady who wields two hammers. There's a guy who has like a baseball bat and a baseball.
Oh Jesus. Fuck. That's see the baseball is really what you know. That's great. Does he use the same baseball or does he have like a little satchel of them?
I think he just has the one baseball.
That's pretty good.
There's a scene with like exposition while the bad guy like casually walks over and slits a bunch of guys' throats. That's the thing that happens. You know,
Yeah, that's no bueno.
he's a bad guy.
I can't deal with that. I was watching Breaking Bad. And there was a scene where Gus just straight slits that guy's throat with a box cutter. That scene was so entirely unnecessary to my life. Like, I actually get squeamish looking at box cutters now. And ever since then, like, I'd never really thought about throat cutting scenes that much. And then I saw that, and I'm like, well, this is massively uncomfortable. So, yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm a glutton for violence in films, so I love all that shit.
I'm like, I can just envision it perfectly. Like all this shit going down, and you're just sitting there, like eyes open, looking at the screen, like
Eating cereal,
eating like cereal or something, like super into it. I'm just like, oh no, fuck, why? Oh, Jesus.
I'm just laughing.
dude, check this out. Just across like 6 people's throats, and I'm like, oh. Those are meant for boxes.
Those are meant for boxes.
Yeah.
Basically, the Raid 2 opens with our things go bad, and our boy ends up kind of getting coerced by the cops into going undercover to try and take down the larger criminal organization. So he ends up going to prison for years.
I will say that's
undercover.
like, I think that was the most annoying part about the Raid was like the moment where everybody else is like, nobody knows we're here, do they? Like, oh my god, you clearly underestimated this guy, and then you came in alone, essentially. Fucking
Yeah,
egotistical prick.
that guy was an asshole and an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's ridiculous.
He fucked up. I don't know. Again, part of the magic for the Raid to me again is its simplicity.
Yeah, no.
I do like the sequel better though. That's just my opinion, I'll say.
That's fair.
But honestly, the Raid is in a lot of ways similar to Dredd. All these movies kind of came out around the same time too, which is also kind
Is
of
that
interesting.
similar though?
I mean, in terms of plot structure, cops go into a building, find themselves trapped inside, and have to climb their way to the top to kill the
Yeah, okay.
crime leader at the top.
Except in
Except there's a
Dredd.
psychic girl.
Except in Dredd, it's actually judges go into a building to take down Avon Barksdale's organization.
Hey, it's not his organization. He's just the guy that was at the bottom of the totem pole.
As soon as I saw him in the movie, my first thought was like, yo, spoilers, don't tell me he fucking makes it out in the wire. Like, come on.
little typecast.
Yeah.
I've also seen him show up as a cop in some things, and that's
Weird as fuck.
now that's some whiplash.
Yeah. I didn't know I forget how. Maybe it's because I recognized like the actor's name when I finally clicked. But I looked up Stringer Bell, and he's like, what's his name in Avengers and Thor? Like,
Yeah,
Heimdall or
Idris
whatever.
Elba's been
And I'm like,
in a
what?
ton of shit.
Like, that's such a weird thing to go. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Avon's number
The
two.
guy who plays
Kinda.
Penalty was on some other show too. That I watched The Hours, I think it was called. It was about a news organization.
So
Anyway, Dredd is also, I will say, I think it's the best comic book movie. I think it's the best.
yeah, it was fucking great, man. I was like, a lot of it is so fucking lame, but it's amazing. Like,
So the thing about Judge Dredd is it's like a British parody of America in the comic book, and the comic book is a little much for me sometimes. It's like a little too black and white British comics. It's a little impenetrable at times, but when it's fucking on, it's like great classic Silver Age comic book storytelling. It's just like great ideas executed well.
yeah, they're
It's wild.
Dude, from the very beginning, like I watched this immediately after the raid. I'm like, oh, this is like a complete 180. It caught me in like the first 10 seconds when dude is all like, this is the Earth now. It's a desert. And I'm like, oh fuck, it's a desert. Tell me more. Mysterious
cities.
voice. Yeah.
It's like, what if instead of cities, it was a mega city? And instead of buildings, they were mega buildings.
Yeah. No, it's
Basically,
fucking
each building is the size of a city.
yeah.
The idea.
I mean,
Also, they're mutants.
yeah, I was wondering, like, as soon as he said that, I'm like, this is a fucking X-Men spinoff. Did I get roped into something here? I'm suspicious of the word mutant these days.
I mean, people mutated by radiation. It's more like Fallout,
Yeah.
except sometimes people have psychic powers.
I
instead of
was
just
getting
being
more,
weird husks.
I was getting far more, like, Shadowrun vibes, like Cyberpunk. That's partially why I was, like, so into it very early. Because that, and it was really clear that at some point the people who originally created this whole thing were like, what can we call the main characters so that they can constantly have cool catchphrases? And some asshole was like, what about judges so then they could be all like, judgment, death. Like, okay, we're just doing this now every time. It's fantastic.
Yeah. There's a judge who's a fish. At some point.
Oh no, that's far less great.
There's also like four Horsemen of the Apocalypse judges. Is a thing that the Apocalypse War is a big story.
I mean, see, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
Fishbowl judge doesn't seem great.
it's good stuff.
Judge, what's your judgment?
So-
Glob, glob, glob.
But I'll say I haven't read a lot of the original comics, again, because I find it, whenever I've tried, I've found it a little impenetrable. But around this time, IDW started a Judge Dredd series that was more easier for me to get into because it was starting just then. It was more to standard. I've heard it described as like if like a New Yorker made Judge Dredd instead of British comics creators. So it's like, yeah, that checks out. And it was great. That's a highly recommend that IDW Judge Dredd series. Kind of got into it right after this movie came out. The big thing to me that like makes this movie a lot of parts is the character of Anderson, though. Like that's just that like it's like that made the universe make more sense to me instead of just being this macho, serious, grim, dark thing. Was her character.
I also like
It's
that
like
they just,
Robin to Batman. He's Batman. You need a little bit of that light.
the
palate cleanser.
Fucking super obvious, like, where's your helmet? It blocks my psychic powers. Also, I'm a hottie with blonde hair, so we need to keep it off.
Exactly.
Like, super fucking on the... Didn't even try to hide it. Great.
It blocks your psychic powers, man.
Yeah, okay. Their helmets are fucking ridiculous, though. But, like...
I mean, their costumes are super toned down from the comics, and yet are still ridiculous. Yeah. Their shoulder pads aren't big enough to comic book standards. Judge Dredd is supposed to have like wow shoulder pads, just like bigger than his head on one of his shoulders.
I think my
movie's gonna movie.
Yeah. I think my like the point where I got probably the most worried was when the fake judges come in, or when the not fake but like the bribed judges come in. And I was like, I don't know, I was worried that we were gonna have a whole bunch of like subplot and there was gonna be all this bullshit, but it was pretty straightforward. Why didn't you ask about my partner?
Yeah.
It's real good. Like, it's kind of, I don't know, it had just enough. It's just, again, at its heart, it's really just people, like, kind of walking through a building, killing everything. But it had just enough ridiculous, like... I prefer one badass instead of a lot of badasses. Like, Terminator style is kind of my preference. And that was definitely this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I just love the constant frown. It's so good.
Yeah.
He's just always frowning.
So
he's always mad.
Like the first, I don't know, however many minutes of the movie where the people get skinned, that was so unnecessary. It was really like, and then they kept pulling the sheets off of them to look, and I'm like, that's gotta stop.
No, they had to make sure.
Stop.
And then look at their fucked up teeth and get right up in there.
Actually, yeah, the slow-mo burn thing or whatever, like, the fucking effects for any time they're, like, on the drug is so good. Like, I loved how they just kind of played that in, and, like, everything's all fucking sparkly, and it's just, I don't know. It was really great. And
I think the payoff for that at the end, where he sprays her with it and then throws her out the window, and we follow her all the way down to crash, just smashing into the floor. It was good. It was good.
I looked away. Initially, I like looked away and I like looked back because I'm like, I don't know how fucking terrible they're gonna get with this, but they really just made it a giant red pool, so it was more palatable than showing everything in gruesome detail. But I think that also kind of helped its cyberpunk cred. You got cool drugs, like that's a cool concept for a drug. Everything slows down. I think 1% is maybe a bit of a stretch, but sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they just do a lot of world building, like, really quickly, right up front. Like, they show the red dots of the dead bodies, and it zooms out on the city, and you see there's fucking red dots everywhere.
Yeah, it's just covered.
And you get the line from Dredd later. Yeah, we can respond to about 6% of the crimes that get committed.
Yeah. What is it, like 17,000 calls a day or whatever to their sector or something? We can respond to 6%, so come on, rookie, pick one.
Good shit. Good shit. I don't know if you realize, but the crime boss in this, played by Lena Headey, who plays Cersei on Game of Thrones.
I don't watch Game of Thrones. And I also don't watch I don't watch people who watch Game of Thrones, or I don't listen to people who watch Game of Thrones.
Carl Urban, who plays Dredd, played Bones in the Star Trek reboot.
Don't even know who Bones is. Isn't that cop show?
No, in Star Trek.
I didn't know that I didn't know that Star Trek Bones had a spin-off cop show.
You done?
Yeah. No, I
But
didn't.
when we tell you he was John Grimm in Doom, is that?
Nope.
Oh, he was Eomer in Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. Whoever Eomer is.
Is that like Horseman guy from Rowan?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I don't know what the rest of his face looks like in Dredd, so sure. All right. You told me under that helmet
Sure.
he has long, flowing blonde hair.
No, he generally doesn't. He usually has short black hair. It's his standard look.
No. No, I'm imagining the other way.
Yeah, I mean, well, now that I've told you he was Yomer, that's accurate to when he played that character. Yes,
Okay.
but yeah,
The,
he's not
the
particularly recognizable. What with the helmet,
yeah.
and the constant frown.
Mama did look very familiar. I just didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't. I decided not to look her up for whatever reason. She did pretty well. She was a good character. I thought a good villain.
Yeah. Yep. The image. They used that image of her after she had bitten a dude's dick off a bunch of times.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. So there's that bit with Avon and Sidekick Girl Anderson, and he's like imagining them, having sex, and she's like, "You're trying to shock me." He's like, "No, if I was gonna shock you, I'd do this." And then she like slaps him because it was fucking horrifying. Do we know what that is? I forget if they show it later, which is terrible because it was
They
like
show like a shot, but
they
I
show
can't.
something. I can't think
Yeah.
of what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It wasn't distinguishable to me at the time. The
Yeah.
multiple times I've watched this movie.
I thought that was I don't know, that bit was good. Where she then like retaliates and he pisses himself.
Yeah, she showed him.
And then later, actually, I think her being psychic, like, that truly paid off when the other judge is like, "Rookie, it's okay, put down your gun," and she does a little like,
Just shoots her.
just boom.
Yep. Then
Like
she was
that's-
using her powers correctly.
Yeah.
Should I shoot you? Yes. No. Yes. Okay. We're done.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. I also judges have cool guns with the different types of ammo that they call out verbally.
Yeah, I was thinking about how nice it must be to have, like, or how nice it would have been to have, like, some sort of button, though. Like,
Nah.
you're trying to hide, and you have to be like, gun, fucking high X rounds.
That's payday rules. In character speech doesn't count.
Fuck yeah. I
And
think
the fucking computer guy who's
Oh,
just
yeah,
completely
that's-
traumatized and had his eyes pulled out so he could have better fake eyes.
yeah, that was some Shadowrun shit, dude. Like I was all up in that. Like when his eyes are like twitching around, and you see the lens like going in and out. Oh, so good.
Like,
Maybe you want to read fucking Neuromancer again. It's real good stuff. I mean, it's horrible, tragic. I'm glad he got away in the end, but also it was so cool.
I don't know. I like how once after Anderson fucks up completely and gets captured, like she's so much more sure of herself and confident after that. It's funny, like once she's decided she's failed, she acts with much more focus.
Nothing left to lose, man. It's not a question
Exactly.
anymore.
Exactly.
I think my big, barely, complaints about the film. One, I really wanted Mama to have more muscle definition. Because She seems like
Yeah.
someone who would, just slightly. I don't know.
I don't know. She never
I just
gets
noticed.
She's not a. She never
Yeah,
gets a
like-
fight.
Yeah, like
There's no end boss fight except the other. It's basically just the other judges.
Yeah, and even then,
Don't
like
put up
she's,
that much of a fight.
And yeah, no. And even then, she's like shooting stuff. So I guess, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, again, the way I used to talk about it at the time was like, yeah, the raid is like the good hand to hand violence, and Judge Dredd is about shooting guns violence.
Yeah, for sure. That and the ending, he waited so long. Like, so did she pass or fail? She passed. And then the movie ends, like, what's the scene immediately after that? Anderson, get back here. I took your shit, but you actually passed. You're a judge. Like, there. He has to like fucking chase her down. Like she's gonna fucking leave.
Not his style.
Wait a minute. Why did she fucking read his mind? I guess. Whatever. That would have been so much better. Did I pass? You're the psychic.
That makes for less good movie moment.
Disagree. That's a great
Visual
movie
storytelling.
moment.
Whatever.
He says you're the sidekick, and then he walks off, and she like does her little thing, has a slight smile, and then follows him, and they fucking hop on bikes and go off to kill more people. It's a great movie moment. What are you talking about?
The tone. I don't think that's making with the tone of the film, though.
Come on, you're a sidekick. You're the sidekick. Come on.
I don't think you can end that movie with her happy that she's staying a judge. I don't think that you can have that moment.
Okay,
I think
fine.
it's
So
better
no
with her
slight
not funny
smile
on it.
then. Whatever. Take it out. Rewrite. He says you're the sidekick and walks off, and she looks moody and slightly upset, and then follows him. Better.
No, then it's much less clear that she passed. Look,
How
it's
about
important
she
just
gets
for
on
Judge
the
Dredd to say she passed. It's
What?
important.
Okay, fine. He says, you're the sidekick. She's looking at him with her badge thing, whatever, out, holding it to him. He turns around, walks away. She does a little thing, and then it puts it back on her uniform. There. Good?
What if she doesn't want to be a judge anymore, huh?
it.
Taking away her agency.
I'm not taking away her agency. She's allowed to say no. Fine if she doesn't want to be a judge anymore. He says, you're the sidekick, and she says, not this time, and then she gives him the badge anyway.
You don't
There
know.
go.
Maybe she didn't pass till she turned her badge in. You don't know that. Maybe that was the straw that gave her last point to pass.
Doubtful. If anything, it would have been earlier when she said that she failed already and she acknowledged it, because it's basically the same thing. If her turning in the badge is the last point, then that means he's getting a little soft. I don't want that. I'm not entertaining that idea.
Whatever. When she says she just wants to do good, and he says it's admirable.
You're
I
just
love that
upset.
response.
You're just upset because I came up with a perfect ending.
They go off to Rainbow Gumdrop Land, skipping all the way. Happy ending.
If you ever come up with a movie and you use that ending, I'm gonna take you to court. I'm gonna reference this episode as evidence. So, watch yourself.
So, Attack the Block is a different beast entirely.
It
really.
was that one felt fairly in the middle. Not even because it was less good, but because it kept flipping back and forth as to how much I liked it. Mm-hmm. It had some really great moments.
Yeah. I don't know. I just really like those monsters a lot. Also, I don't know if you recognize this, but the main kid in this is played by John Boyega. You know, Finn from Star Wars.
Was he?
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking notice, dude.
Yeah, this is like the movie he was known for before that.
Wow, that went right over my. I didn't even notice at all.
Yeah, I mean, he's a lot younger.
Yeah, and he had a bandana on the whole time. Like, that's, you know.
I'm sorry, I just can't see through bandanas. Can't see past them.
Star Wars Episode 9 opens with him wearing a bandana. Like, oh fuck, it's the kid from Attack the Block.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's this, like, the setup for this is sort of like a horror movie, but
It definitely felt horror-esque.
yeah, except the movie's not into being scary.
Yeah.
It is much more like about these characters coming together against this adversity. It has elements of horror stories in terms of its structure and stuff, but it's not tonally really like that at all. Despite the monsters eating people. I think like the little kids with their water gun. So like I think it's like the other hand on that scale. It's like, is this horror? Well, we have two little kids with fucking a spray gun killing the aliens, so they're not that scary.
Yeah. No, they, like... Yeah, I mean, individually, yeah, the aliens were not that bad. Like, it was only after there was, like, I don't know, 50 of them in a big old pack, then it's like, oh,
I don't know.
this isn't good.
They murder those paramedics.
It's like, would you... I don't know, would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or a 100 duck-sized horses? I don't know, like...
Look, the moral of this story is, if you find an alien, don't kill it and then keep it in your grow lab.
Yeah. Maybe just, you know, don't kill shit right away anyway.
No, man. Male aggression has to be satiated.
Ugh.
See, it's really a story about toxic masculinity, Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, there it is. See, I thought like that I mean the general turn it took wasn't that much of a surprise, but I thought they were going to go for like the whole you killed one of their babies sort of angle.
Mm-hmm. Nope. They killed a female. I don't know. This movie's just fun. I just think it's fun. Like, the scenes of them running away from the monsters are cool. The way it uses the space, like when that kid jumps from the one part of the stairwell down. That shit's fun. I like the character interactions. People, they feel real, even though it's ridiculous.
I like the elevator bit.
Yeah.
Dude,
Elevator bits are always good.
opens up. Blood fucking everywhere. Like, you might want to get the next one.
That's always a good bit. It's like characters in over their heads, but you know, they're down, they're ready.
Yeah,
Some
no,
of them
I mean they didn't even fucking
were not
hesitate.
ready and get killed, but you know, they were willing.
Look, the streets are tough, man.
I mean, I also like, as a contrast to those other movies, I do like that this is the example of the invading force kind of bringing together the people living in the building. Like, it brings them closer, you know, Remember, like, people live in it's part of your community. That kind of stuff. It's a little heartwarming instead of just
Yeah.
cops coming in and murdering people. You know, well, there's a place for that too, but you know, it's good to get the other side of it sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'm on, I'm on the fence about like how the aliens look, I guess. I don't know, just those teeth, those glowing teeth.
Yeah, man, that's my aesthetic.
That's my
Again, my favorite comic book character when I was a kid was Venom, and like that's the whole reason I liked it was just that giant mouth full of teeth. That image always is been one I really like as a visual.
So you're a big shark fan then, huh?
Not really.
They got
'Cause they have
shitloads
all
of
that-
teeth, dude.
Yeah, but they have all those fishy parts. If they were less fish, I don't know.
Okay, but like their teeth have to be up there in the rankings,
Their
right?
teeth aren't big enough.
What?
They're not
Oh,
big
fuck
enough.
off.
They're limited to reality.
Oh my
Instead
god.
of-
What about old sharks? What about like the big sharks, like megalodon and shit?
I mean, dinosaurs are always cool.
Yeah. This is like it's it's the best of both worlds. It's both a dinosaur and a shark, which is something with giant teeth.
Yeah.
All right, so is Venom
I'm just
like
telling
top,
you, sharks never did it to me.
Fair enough. So is Venom like top toothy boy then?
For me, yeah.
Okay. What's number 2? You gotta.
I never really had a number 2. Because I wasn't a huge Carnage fan either. It's just Venom.
Just Venom.
There are other
Damn.
Venoms.
Okay, well that's
I have
like
a tier
get
tier
outta
list
here.
of Venoms.
Ugh.
Top tier isn't even Eddie Brock Venom. Top tier is Flash Thompson Venom. Where he's a government agent and also an alcoholic. Just better stories. But that's because I'm older now and not, as easily satisfied by bad story comics
Yeah.
with art I like.
So just Venom.
Again, as a kid, I just had lots of Venom action figures, which made it hard to tell stories when I was playing with them because I just had all these Venoms.
So so all of your fucking scenarios are like the Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man. Oh,
Yeah.
That's pretty
I
good.
got like the. Okay, this Venom is like big and scary and has a lot extra heads, and this Venom is that exact same toy except he's green.
So
Totally different.
which one's the protagonist?
I think it was the one that just had an Eddie Brock head. Because he had like a rubber Venom head that would go on top of it, but that would break. That would get ruined.
Gotcha.
And then I had a Venom that was my uncle made by using one of my action figures to make a mold, and then he poured nickel into it. So I just have
Ooh.
this
That's cool.
nickel Venom.
Yeah.
And then I think I have Copper Carnage. He did the same with a Carnage action figure I had.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I still have those.
I
on
would
my
yeah, I
bookshelf.
would hope so.
They're dope.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, those are buildings. Those are movies about buildings where they are under siege.
I really hate that
Like-
Moses got put in the cop car at the end of Attack the Block. Like
You hate that?
what was the purpose for putting him in the fucking cop car?
Because he was a suspect.
In
For
fucking what?
crimes.
Saving the world?
Yeah.
No.
robbing. I mean, he's robbed that woman.
Whatever. That's fucking stupid. I mean,
Also, those
that's probably part of
Look.
it, but like,
prime suspect with those paramedics dying. Can't tell me. What was it? Alien dogs? Yeah. Alien apes. What
he
was
has
it? Aliens?
numerous people that'll vouch for him. They'll find the bodies.
I mean, yeah, those people vouched for him. It's fine.
Yeah. I don't know.
But-
It's just annoying. It was like the classic, like, police are fucking dumb, kind of.
Ben,
What?
that might be true to reality.
Yeah. Put in the wire. My fucking mantra.
Yeah, and The
as of
Wire.
late.
Imagine a regular cop in The Wire, though.
I guess.
Yeah.
Sort of.
What if it was Prez?
Well, I mean, okay. He wouldn't have been in the back of
Someone
the
who
cop
can-
car. He just would have lost a fucking eye.
Exactly. So
Hey,
he
kid,
got
you
off
over
lights.
18? No. Boom, pistol whip.
Tough stuff.
Yeah.
Tough stuff. But yeah, I like all these movies, and I like how they're structured, and how they use their confined space to kind of propel
Well,
the plot
it's-
forward.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I guess the closest thing I could think of, like, it's the same kind of appeal as, like, one of those, like, I don't even know what the fucking genre is called, where it's like a house party or something and someone dies and it's like an enclosed space and then it's one of the people there who did it.
You like Clue?
Sure. I was thinking more like that one mission in Skyrim, but sure, that works, I guess.
Clue's a good movie.
I haven't seen it. I went right to the board game. That's why I sounded very hesitant. I was like, I don't know the lore behind Clue that well, but sure, yeah.
The movie Clue had 3 different endings.
I do vaguely recall hearing that, yes.
So when you watch it on DVD, though, they play them one in a row. It's like, maybe it happened like that, but what if it happened like this? Also, I mean, that movie's just great because it has Tim Curry being great.
Oh, yeah, no, okay, that's all you need. Like, I'm sold.
Yeah.
That's all you gotta
good.
tell me.
You should watch Clue sometime.
I'm fucking down. We can do a Tim Curry bracket.
There are a bunch of. I mean, the problem is Tim Curry's been in so much.
Part
We
of the
definitely have
bracket
to
is
limit.
every single episode of Wild Thornberries.
We're gonna do every episode of Superhuman Samurai Cyber Squad.
If he's fucking in it, then yeah.
He's the
know
big
how it
bad
is.
in that.
Yeah, you know how it is. It's the way it has to be.
There's that show on Netflix where it was about a goat or something. I think Tim Curry it is, isn't it?
I have no
There's
fucking
the-
idea that'd be.
There's a direct to DVD Beauty and the Beast Midquill, where Tim Curry plays an evil organ that just wants the beast to play him.
Oh no. that that sounds like it has innuendo written all over it.
It's not even really innuendo. It's just,
Play my keys.
yeah, basically.
Oh, fucking make chords on my body.
Yeah, man. Also, it's a midquill. Takes place during the events of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's really terrible.
Adagio all over me.
You can watch Congo. We'd have to play Red Alert.
I mean, I think... for me personally, it might be kind of pointless doing a Tim Curry bracket because I think Sweet Transvestite from Rocky Horror is just actually his best work, so,
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing with Tim Curry is he's always great, and he's been in a lot of things, and a lot of them are terrible. But he's
Yeah.
always, generally always great,
Yeah.
basically. It's good overacting.
Hell yeah, dude. Like, I don't know. He is the only reason why I actually go back to the Wild Thornberries now and again. Like, I just want to fucking hear him talk.
We could do like a Tim Curry, like hit a couple.
Yeah, we could say hit some of the bangers. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd be down.
but I think that's a podcast.
Yeah.
So you can email soulcirclepodcast@gmail.com. Find us on Twitter at soulcirclepod. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify as Salt Circle Podcast, and you can find our episodes hosted at anchor.fm/saltcircle, and I'm on Twitter at Comic Panels.
And I'm on Twitter at bean_LP. You want to try doing one of those like fade out things?
What's that?
You know,
What's
where
a
we
fade out thing?
like where we keep talking and it just fades out as the music plays.
I don't. What? That doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? You're just
No.
cutting off content?
No, it's gonna be great.
Alright, you say so.